The federal government is looking into Apple ahead of its relaunch of Beats. Some say Apple's pushing music labels to kill off Spotify's free service. Right now it's an FTC inquiry with reports of DOJ involvement. And it's the latest development in the ongoing fight over music streaming. Billboard senior correspondent Andrew Hampp is here to discuss. Andrew, good to see you again.
Good to see you.
This is really about the sort of future of streaming music and whether these freemium services can survive. Where does Spotify stand right now? And where does Beats stand? I know the service hasn't launched yet, but where do they want to be?
So Spotify still gets the majority of its subscriber base from free or unpaid subscribers. You know, of the 60 million people who subscribe to Spotify, only 15 million of those pay for it. Whereas Apple, they've been dipping their toes into free streaming. You know, iTunes Radio was launched about 2 years ago, but with minimal adoption. But otherwise, you know, they still make up the majority of the market share of digital music sales. So they would like to maintain that momentum.
Right. Apple has powerful players here. They have leverage. They have a decent amount on their side, it would seem, in this battle going in.
12 years ago, when they started the iTunes Store, that was effectively a light switch that kind of standardized what you expected a song to cost, because, you know, immediately they were asking you to pay 99 cents a song. So the industry has kind of followed that. So everyone's kind of looking to see what Beats becomes, because the industry would expect to follow that model. So now what we're seeing play out behind the scenes is Apple almost abusing that marketplace leadership and asking the labels to convince its competitors to be less competitive with free models.
And the pushback from Spotify is what?
Pushback from them is that, you know, they think that free is the gateway to paid. They think that freemium is what ultimately converts people to paying subscribers. 80% of the folks who have paid for that $9.99 a month subscription have come from the free product.
Let's say Spotify is able to continue their freemium service with the 45 million people on free, 15 million people on paid. And Beats launches with only a first tier of whatever it is, $9 or $10 a month. Mm-hmm. Can Apple reasonably do well in that market?
Yes, because this is the other thing that we're seeing play out right now. Obviously, Tidal with Jay-Z and 15 other celebrities launched a month ago with the idea that windowing or having exclusive rights to new music from artists can get you new users. Now, so far, that's turned out to the tune of about 750,000 subscribers, Jay-Z announced, and Apple's expected to be partnering with artists like Pharrell and Drake and even potentially Taylor Swift once they unveil their plans later this year.
Does Spotify do a lot of exclusives right now?
They do, but on a smaller level. Spotify is positioning itself kind of like a SoundCloud, like a discovery platform, which again behooves them to say that they helped put Lord on the map, because, you know, all that Spotify streaming activity, you know, the radio programmers could see that she had 10 million plays on Royals, and that gave them the confidence to take a risk on that track on the radio.
What's the timetable? So the new Beats service, I should say, was initially supposed to launch in early June. We're now hearing late summer.
Yeah, there's really only 3 times of year that you can make a big announcement with Apple, outside of the Beats acquisition, which was announced last May to shareholders. You know, there's the developer conference from June 8th to 11th. That was kind of the natural expectation. After that, it could be as late as September. That's when they announced the U2 album. So there's kind of 2 or 3 major places to say that.
If you're Apple, why would you not potentially try to introduce a freemium service to begin with?
Because it behooves them to play nice with the labels. You know, they don't want people to pull out dramatically of their service the way that Taylor did with Spotify.
If you're running Spotify, what are you trying to do to make it better while keeping this freemium service? And also, by the way, if you're Beats, what are you doing, or what should you be doing to make the service better than Spotify, or to try to differentiate it?
Apple has $1 billion marketing budget, and Spotify has no marketing budget. So really, when Taylor Swift had her big, you know, press campaign against them, that was their biggest marketing ever. Like, they saw a huge lift in subs just because there's so much awareness. So now that Spotify has become a verb for streaming a song, that's now Apple's biggest challenge, is how does Apple make Beats become a verb for streaming a song?
How does Tidal factor into all this?
everyone's kind of looking to see what Tidal has beyond the superstar relationships. You know, they've really been playing catch up and really clean up on the messy PR launch of the past month. We've been noticing that they've been trying to get more emerging artists out there. They have a program called Tidal Rising that's promoting unsigned artists or developing artists. Jay-Z's going to do a concert here in New York next week to perform some of his underheard B-sides and deep cuts from his previous album. So we'll see if that converts into actual users.
When does that happen, by the way?
That's a week from tomorrow.
I have a feeling we may have some more of these discussions about the future of streaming service. Andrew Hampp, thanks very much.
Thank you.